Can you believe they recorded and posted this video online on social media just moments before their death? So sad.
My child is here, but it's 3 kids that lost their lives behind this. And I want their family to go through their grieving and not have to worry about my baby.
The viral video you see here shows 3 women laughing, singing along to music, and seemingly enjoying themselves. It captures a moment of joy, friendship, and carefree energy. But what no one watching could have imagined is that these would be the final moments before tragedy struck. On a fateful night in Lake County, Florida, 3 close friends, Aquatavia Pugh, Shakayla Mathis, set out to enjoy an evening together. What they didn't know was that their decision to link up would mark the last night of their lives. What began as a fun night filled with laughter, music, and sisterhood ended in an irreversible tragedy. The crash that followed left 1 person fighting for survival and 3 families shattered in grief. But what went wrong that night? What chain of decisions led from joy to devastation, turning a viral video into a haunting reminder of how quickly life can change? To understand how this heartbreaking tragedy happened to these 3 friends turned sisters, we need to go back to the beginning of how this all started. This story takes us to Lake County, Florida, a quiet region nestled in the heart of Central Florida. Known for its serene lakes, winding roads, and tight-knit communities, Lake County is the kind of place where neighbors greet each other warmly, and Sunday mornings are usually marked by peace. But on one such day, tranquility was shattered. Early that Sunday, a peaceful stretch of State Road 19 near St. Florian Lane became the backdrop of a devastating tragedy. What began as an ordinary day would end in heartbreak, leaving families and friends grappling with unimaginable loss. The women at the center of this tragedy were more than just friends. They were like sisters. Their bond was forged through shared experiences, laughter, and unwavering support for one another. At just 28 years old, Aquatavia Pugh, affectionately known as Tavia, had already left a lasting mark on her community. Born and raised in Apopka, Florida, she was deeply rooted in the place she called home. Tavia attended Apopka High School and later Lake Technical College, where she pursued her education with determination and a drive to better herself. She was particularly close to her older sister, Shantavia Pugh, and their relationship was one of mutual love and encouragement. Expressive and outspoken, Tavia was never afraid to share her thoughts. Friends described her as a young woman who radiated energy and humor, someone who could brighten any space with her presence. Her social media presence reflected this vibrancy. Tavia documented her lively life online, often bringing laughter to those who followed her. Whether through a witty post or a candid video, she had a way of making people smile, even during their darkest times.
Badass like I been in this bitch. We from straight out Nola, nigga. Bang 3, nigga. I got Webb in the back when he jigged up on that. Boost badass, that boost. Yes. I own that boost of juice. Bend over, let me chew on you. I ain't fucking on these. What's up? Everybody see me in the club and I'm.
To her friends and family, she wasn't just a companion, she was a source of joy, a reminder that life could be celebrated even in its challenges. Alongside Tavia was her dear friend, Shakayla Mathis, better known as Kay Lachey. At 30 years old, Kay was the embodiment of confidence and authenticity. Born in Apopka on August 31, 1994, she carried herself with undeniable energy that made her the life of every gathering. Kay was unapologetically herself. She was outspoken and fearless. She had a laugh that was unforgettable, the kind that echoed and lingered, leaving those around her smiling long after. She was known to speak her truth boldly, often making others feel accepted and valued. Her friends admired her for her loyalty. Kay was the kind of person who would stand by you no matter the circumstance. She was unfiltered, fearless, and unwavering in her convictions. To those who knew her, she was more than a friend. She was a pillar of strength, someone who reminded others to embrace who they truly were. Completing this trio was 32-year-old Kenesha Lewis, a devoted mother of 5. Kenesha's life revolved around her children, who meant the world to her. She was known for her sweet and loving nature, always putting her family first. Despite the demands of raising 5 children, Kenesha never hesitated to support her friends. Her bond with Tavia and Kay was more than friendship, it was a sisterhood. She balanced motherhood with companionship, offering love and encouragement to those around her. Her friends often described her as the embodiment of devotion. She was gentle yet strong, nurturing yet resilient. Kenesha's presence was a reminder of the power of love, both within family and among friends. Together, Tavia, Kay, and Kenesha formed a bond that was unbreakable. They laughed together, supported one another through hardships, and celebrated life's milestones side by side. Their friendship was a testament to the strength of sisterhood, a chosen family that stood firm in the face of life's challenges. But as much as they loved one another, fate had a cruel twist in store. The same bond that brought them joy would tragically bind them even in death.
On March 30th, 2025, in the early hours of the morning, a tragic incident unfolded along State Road 19 in Lake County, Florida. The lives of Tavia, Kay, Kenesha, and a friend, 26-year-old Mariah Belcher, would be forever changed that night. What began as a carefree evening full of laughter and celebration quickly turned into an unspeakable tragedy that would leave a community in mourning. The 4 women were enjoying their night together, unaware of the dark turn their lives were about to take. Around 3:16 a.m., they were driving in a 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee, enjoying a night out, laughing and drinking together. The mood was light, filled with the sounds of music, and as they passed around a bottle of Patron tequila, there was no sign of what was to come. As the night unfolded, a now viral video taken by one of the women, believed to be Tavia, shows them dancing, smiling, and living in the moment. In the video, a woman can be seen holding the bottle in the passenger seat while Tavia films herself dancing in the back. The driver, who was also caught on camera, was holding her phone in one hand and the bottle in the other. As the video continues, the women's carefree joy begins to take a dangerous turn. At one point, the camera zooms in on the dashboard, capturing a chilling sight: 116 miles per hour on the speedometer. The reckless speed and erratic behavior were clear signs that disaster was looming. The women's voices can be heard in the background, laughing and shouting things like "hit the dash" and "running red lights." The video abruptly ends, but the fate of the women was already sealed. As the driver continued to speed, she failed to navigate a sharp curve. The Jeep swerved off the road, crashing into a pole before flipping multiple times. The impact was devastating, and none of the women were wearing seatbelts, which meant they were violently thrown from the car. In an instant, 3 lives, Kenesha, Tavia, and Kay, were taken. Mariah, although critically injured, was rushed to the hospital. Her injuries were severe: a traumatic brain injury, fractured vertebrae, and a spleen injury. Yet despite her injuries, Mariah showed incredible strength, being described by doctors as a fighter. What should have been a night filled with laughter and memories turned into a horrific and heartbreaking reminder of the consequences of reckless driving. The loss of 3 vibrant lives and the painful struggle of the 4th left everyone who knew them grappling with the harsh reality of how quickly joy can turn into tragedy. As soon as the crash occurred, the Florida Highway Patrol was notified and law enforcement officers rushed to the scene. The Highway Patrol confirmed that the video showing the women drinking and speeding was now a central piece of the investigation.
Developing right now in Lake County, Florida Highway Patrol says this video is at the center of their investigation into a deadly crash over the weekend. Troopers claim 4 women were drinking while speeding. 3 of them died. Another is in the hospital tonight in critical condition. Fox 35's Randy Hildreth is live at the hospital in Orlando. And Randy, you spoke to the sole survivor's mother. What did she say?
Yeah, good evening to you, Luann. Spoke with her late this afternoon, and she described her daughter as a fighter, and she is certainly fighting for her life right now. As you mentioned, we have video that has been confirmed by FHP that they are using as part of this investigation. I want to warn viewers that some of this video may not be appropriate for younger viewers. As FHP says, one of the women that you will see in this video is one of the women who was killed. Speeds appearing to top 100 miles per hour, and alcohol passed around the vehicle. Florida Highway Patrol says this video is now part of their investigation into this weekend's deadly crash in Lake County.
In that vehicle, if the video ends up being exactly what our investigators are able to prove, there was a lot of distraction in that car for the driver and for the other passengers.
Authorities immediately began their work, piecing together the circumstances that led to the crash. Florida Highway Patrol officials stated that the crash occurred after the driver failed to navigate a curve, and they stressed that the distractions in the car, including drinking and the high speed, contributed significantly to the tragic outcome.
The community was rocked by the news, and Mariah's mother expressed deep sorrow as she described how her daughter was fighting for her life.
My whole ride from Alabama, all I could say is my child should live and not die. And she's fighting.
The video footage not only captured the fun and carefree moments before the crash, but also highlighted the risks involved when alcohol, speed, and distractions combine behind the wheel. Authorities warned that the dangers of drunk driving and speeding, compounded by distractions, cannot be underestimated. They also emphasized the importance of wearing seatbelts, a simple action that could have saved lives that night. As the investigation continues, the viral video, along with the toxicology reports, will provide crucial evidence in determining the full extent of the events leading up to the crash. The devastating loss of Kenesha, Tavia, and Kay has sparked difficult conversations about the impact of reckless driving, the dangers of alcohol consumption, and the need for safer driving practices. In the wake of the crash, Mariah's mother, who had been in constant contact with the authorities, spoke out about her grief for her daughter and the others involved. She also voiced her feelings of accountability, stating that if the group knew they were drinking before and after the crash, they should have been more careful, especially considering the tragic consequences of their actions. As Mariah remained in critical condition, a large part of the community's grief focused on how something so preventable could have happened. Many felt that the tragic event could have been avoided with safer decisions. Mariah's mother, reflecting on her daughter's injuries and the lives lost, called for accountability, not only from the driver, but from everyone involved in the night's events. The family, understandably heartbroken, focused on their daughter's survival while mourning the loss of her friends.
My child is here, but it's 3 kids that lost their lives behind this. And I want their family to go through their grieving and not have to worry about my baby.
Mariah's mom says her daughter is still in critical condition but stable. She has a traumatic brain injury, fractured vertebrae in her neck, and suffered a spleen injury.
My whole ride from Alabama, all I could say is my child should live and not die. And she's fighting.
Marcia Knight says her daughter and her friends may have been leaving a party when they allegedly made the post on social media and crashed. She says it's hard watching that video and knowing a night of fun with friends ended like this.
The accountability on my half goes towards my daughter. Because if you knew this person had been drinking, you knew you guys were drinking before, there, after, why? You know what I'm saying? You know better.
FHP says they're still waiting on toxicology reports in this investigation. They also have to compare data from the vehicle to how fast the vehicle was recorded in that video. Investigators are also reminding you to wear your seatbelt.
And in a GoFundMe created for Kenesha Lewis, she is described as a mom of 5, and she is remembered as a sweet and loving woman. There was another GoFundMe created for the victim, Octavia Pugh, by her family, and they say they are heartbroken by this. And the entire community is heartbroken. The mayor of Eustis posted on Facebook today that there will be a prayer vigil this weekend on Sunday at 5 o'clock at Carver Park to honor all of these women. Reporting tonight, Randy Hildreth, Fox 35 News.
So sad, Randy. Thank you.
A critical part of the investigation was the analysis of Mariah's injuries. She was reported to have suffered significant trauma, including a brain injury and fractured vertebrae.
She has a traumatic brain injury, fractured vertebrae in her neck, and suffered a spleen injury.
Despite her condition, Mariah's strength became a point of hope for her family, who rallied around her, encouraging her to keep fighting. The grief surrounding the crash spread quickly throughout the community, especially in Apopka, where the 3 women were well known. In the days following the accident, there were memorials, tributes, and outpourings of support for the victims' families. The mayor of Eustis announced a prayer vigil to honor the lives lost, and local residents showed solidarity with the grieving families. At the same time, many began to question the broader implications of the tragedy. How could a moment of fun between friends spiral into a catastrophe that would leave such lasting impacts? The mayor's announcement of a vigil at Carver Park was met with overwhelming support as community members came together to honor the lives of Tavia, Kay, and Kenesha. The vigil became a time for reflection where friends, family, and even strangers paid their respects, remembering the 3 women not just for the way they died, but for the vibrant lives they had lived. As the funeral arrangements were made, Tavia's chilling Facebook post from just 4 days earlier resurfaced. She had shared a warning about reckless driving, urging caution and expressing her own fears about speeding and reckless driving. It was a reshare of a post warning about the dangers of reckless driving, a heartfelt plea where someone described the terrifying experience of begging a driver to slow down, fearing for their life as the car sped beyond control. When Tavia came across the post, she decided to share it on her own social media. But she didn't just repost it, she added her own caption, a short but telling remark that reflected both her personality and her awareness of the risks. Her words gave the post a personal touch, showing that she understood the seriousness of the warning and wanted others to take it to heart. In hindsight, her words seemed tragically prophetic. It was as if she had foreseen the very event that would take her life. This post resonated deeply with her friends and family, who had already been mourning her loss. In the aftermath, GoFundMe campaigns were set up for the victims. One campaign for Kenesha, a mother of 5, described her as a sweet, loving woman. Another GoFundMe for Tavia highlighted her infectious energy and vibrant spirit. Both campaigns served as a way for the community to show support and help the families with funeral expenses. But beyond the financial help, these online campaigns were a testament to the love and respect the women had earned in their community. The tragic events of that night ignited a broader conversation around distracted driving, speeding, and drunk driving. Florida Highway Patrol investigators were clear in their message. This tragedy could have been avoided with simple choices that would have prevented 3 young lives from being lost and 1 from being permanently changed. The case became a talking point for local news outlets, highlighting the need for awareness around driving safety, particularly for young people. It raised crucial questions about personal responsibility, the consequences of our actions, and the importance of making the right choices when behind the wheel. The viral video, which was now part of the investigation, not only captured the final moments of the women's lives, but also became a grim reminder of how powerful social media can be in both amplifying joy and documenting tragedy. It sparked outrage and grief in equal measure, and many began to call for stricter regulations around social media content that showcases dangerous behavior, especially when it comes to reckless driving. Would this tragedy have happened if the women hadn't been filming their night for social media? Could they have made safer choices if they weren't distracted by the need to capture and share their experiences?
On March 31st, just a day after the tragedy, a Facebook user named Mariah Johnson shared a 10-minute video that quickly drew attention. In it, she tagged both Tavia and Kenesha, ensuring their names remained at the center of remembrance. The footage captured a balloon release held in their honor, a symbolic gesture of love and farewell. Red, pink, and purple balloons rose steadily into the sky, drifting higher as family and friends stood together below. Some wept openly, their grief pouring out in tears, while others remained in quiet reflection, their silence speaking volumes. The scene was one of collective heartbreak, but also of unity. It was more than just a memorial. It was a moment of solidarity, a way for the community to honor the vibrancy and spirit of the women whose lives had been cut short far too soon. The balloons, bright against the morning sky, became a visual reminder that while their physical presence was gone, their memory would continue to soar. This tragedy, while heartbreaking, serves as an important lesson for us all. Kenesha, Tavia, and Kay were vibrant, full of life, and cherished by their families and friends. Their untimely deaths underscore the importance of making responsible decisions when behind the wheel. The pain of their loss is felt not only by their families but by their community, who was left to grapple with the reality that this could have been prevented. As the investigation continues, the families and community mourn the lives of these young women. And for Mariah, who fights for her life in the hospital, there is hope, but also a painful reminder that this could have been avoided. The accident has brought attention to the very real dangers of distracted driving, speeding, and driving under the influence. Now, as the community and families honor the memory of Kenesha, Tavia, and Kay, we must all take a step back and ask ourselves, what choices will we make to prevent tragedies like this from happening again? Let this story be a reminder to make responsible decisions and to never take the safety of yourself and others for granted. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this story intriguing, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.